Are we leaving this in or?
Some of this I might use for the opener or something. Lights, and she thought I was there for the lights thing, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna get to drop something off at the office.
Yeah.
See you later. I guess you're going home because they would send you home.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they sent you. Didn't send you home.
I didn't get lights.
Oh yeah, you said you didn't get lights. Other kids in the place had lights, but
You
you
try to
didn't
get
get
me
lights.
there. You try to like see if I was lying about having lights. No,
Doing a quick check.
doing a quick check. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. I remember there was a girl named Taylor. I think she got lights.
Taylor.
Taylor, yeah, there was this redheaded girl. I could be wrong, but I somewhat remember her ending up getting infected.
She had like the real deal. Like
A couple kids did because like they were just like retarded and like sharing like stuff like brushes.
I think it's a lot of times you get it from the house, don't you?
Yeah, but like right in school, the reason that they do the checking, like they do the testing, is because kids are fucking stupid, and so they give it
share
to each other.
things.
They
Yeah.
share it. So
And then when one person in the classroom has it, they
and
all
then like
get it.
a bunch of people start getting it because like lice kind of fall off the head. Sometimes they walk around a bit, but they die pretty fast when they're not like attached to like
They have to attach the skin like a tick.
not like a tick, but they need like a blood supply,
A
like
real good blood supply. So
Yeah.
they got to get there all the time.
They can't really like travel around. Like you'll never find them like on the ground or something. They're mostly like on an animal. Like
But well, the thing is too in Guyana, I think everybody had lice in Guyana. We all
making me feel really happy about wearing this beanie right now. Dude.
Well, no, but it's the country, and it doesn't just like appear on us.
It's like part of the genetic like
yeah. Trick them. But I remember they're keeping
Are they
count.
still alive? Or any of your grandparents still alive?
None of my grandparents are alive. No.
Damn, all right.
Grandmother died before I was born on my dad's side. Grandfather died maybe like 10 years ago. Grandmother died a long time ago. She was really young. She was probably in her 60s when she died, maybe 50s. She was super young. And she had my mom when she was like 14 or 15.
Wow.
So yeah. She got to start it early, you know.
Yeah, I want to have a kid soon.
Yeah, but you already passed that prime age, man. You already passed 15.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's a little too late. Soon relative to Americans. In Colombia, bro, I should have had like 7 kids by now.
Yeah. If you were Puerto Rican, it'd be like you'd be grandpa by now.
Grandpa, Abuelito, bro.
Yeah.
20.
Yeah. It'd be like, hey man, don't talk to me. I'm a grown man. I'm 22 years old. I'm grandfather.
Yeah. But so my dad's house used to have like all sorts of like fucked up vermin and shit.
Yeah.
And it was his fault, bro, because he would bring like rats from like the pet store, like the feeder ones, and he would like raise them.
Keep them as pets.
He would keep them as pets. Because like when he was a kid, he had rats and mice, and his stepmom was like evil, and she would kill them, like feed them.
Oh yeah.
He had like a best friend rat that like would always stay on his shoulder. You know, they were best friends. You know, it's crazy. You can look at like stuff that traumatized people when they were younger, and like, bro, they're like 50, and it like never leaves them. Like it's like always fresh.
Yeah. Things shape you. I never thought. I never considered like rats and mice pests.
Yeah,
I think your dad has the same view of it. Roaches,
those are
pests. Spiders, ants, because they're insects. You know, they crawl on you.
It's just the fact that mice, rats, they breed very rapidly when introduced to like a source of food, like consistent.
Yeah.
And so when they're given free reign to like breed, and they breed fast, it can become like an infestation very quickly.
Oh yeah. They
like,
take over.
An individual rat or mouse is not like a pest. You know, it's just kind of like that can be a pet. You know.
Yeah.
But when they become a little bit more feral, then it's definitely a pest because they breed so rapidly, and it doesn't even have to be like an insane amount of food. It's just like they live in like a safe spot. They'll breed like crazy.
There's a place out here in Fort Lauderdale. It's over there, kind of like by Las Olas area.
Yeah.
When you drive in the back where people live, and there's some houses back there. There's a particular neighborhood that if you drive there at night, you will see these creatures just scatter out in the road. Somebody had pet rabbits, and they let them out, and they bred. There's thousands of them, literally, just everywhere. I'm using the word literally correctly, not just literally thousands of
Literally, like
yeah,
not
not
metaphorically, not
metaphorically.
like in a literal
Like when
sense.
somebody says, "I literally died." You're sitting here
No,
talking
you
to me.
didn't.
You didn't literally die.
No, you
You
didn't.
figuratively died.
Well, I mean, you never know, dude. You never. There's
Well,
some
I
stuff
mean,
out there. You never know.
I
I'm just
don't.
saying. Like, all right, I have an open mind, bro. Maybe the guy really did die, but he's saying literally to make you think that he's saying it in a metaphorical sense,
He's
so that
trying to
you wouldn't
trick you. Trying to trick
exactly.
you. Could be. Could be.
But look, so another thing about mice and rats is that they carry like actual pest animals on them.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. That's
fleas.
another thing about those creatures. Yeah, they do carry other things with them.
So, bro, my dad's house had like fleas and shit, and I did the same thing. Like when you catch them, you can't really like crush them by traditional means. You need to really like crush them with your finger.
Yeah.
Like between the fingernails. And yeah, it's terrible. He used to have bed bugs and stuff.
Probably shouldn't be talking about this pest stuff so long, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
I did have one of the most horrific things happen to me.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Spiders, right?
Oh god, yeah, yeah.
Now, and what? Well, there's two spider stories.
I'm
Now, here's
sorry to anyone that's squeamish.
yeah, here's one that this is like out of a scary movie. There was a spider, not gigantic, like this big,
Yeah.
big for a spider. Like usually spiders are small, but it comes running across running across the floor there. So I was gonna throw my shoe at it, but I was like, no, not really. I'm just gonna. I took my shoe and kind of like I came close to it and just dropped my shoe on it. Now I did not know there was a female spider carrying a sack with not with eggs, babies. And when my shoe hit it, it looked like it exploded, and just a bunch of little spiders popped out of it. It was like a scary movie. You imagine you kill one spider, and it multiplies into 100 of them, and they're crawling everywhere. And I'm sitting there trying to kill them all.
Gosh,
Yeah,
you probably didn't.
no, I mean, I'm pretty sure some of them got away.
Yeah,
but
and then plotting their revenge. You killed their mom and their brothers.
Well, I mean, spiders don't live that long. That was probably 3 years ago.
Yeah, but
I mean,
they've had multiple generations to prepare.
Yeah, there's a great grand baby spider still
remembers
coming
you.
after me now. Yeah, they tell the tales.
Yeah,
It'll be like if like Abraham Lincoln's like kid comes back to like kill
John
Wilkes Booth.
Yeah, great descendant.
Yeah, I actually just saw Abraham Lincoln was on my mind because I saw that, and I think his last living descendant. I don't know if he had never had kids or something, but I think he's done. There's no link.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, yeah. I have to check that. Somebody's got to fact check me.
That
but
sucks. Those were good people, man. The Lincolns.
Nah, they weren't too bad. They weren't too bad.
I thought they were pretty cool when I met them. I thought they were pretty cool.
I mean, even our new president says that he's the best president except for maybe Lincoln. So he might have something there.
Yeah.
Even he respects Lincoln. But the second spider story.
Oh, there's two of them.
I don't know if this is better or worse, but I was living in Orlando at the time, and I was in this.
First mistake.
Yeah, it's bad over there. But I mean, it's not that bad. But there are some areas where it's a little bit wild, and that's where I was living in this little area, just kind of staying in this small apartment, not apartment, but like a little house, I would say. But I was sitting there watching TV, right?
Yeah.
And there was a small light. So as I'm moving my arm around, there were shadows. So I could see, like, you move your hand and you see shadows right out of the corner of your eye. So at one point, I see a shadow the size of my hand next to my head. And I'm kind of confused because I'm still watching TV and I'm like, my hands are here. It's not moving. And I'm like, what is that? And I was almost, for a second, I wouldn't say I was afraid. I'm not afraid of anything, but I was confused. So I looked over. Imagine there's a spider the size of my hand right next to my head because the wall was like right here. So I go rolling off of the bed and I had with me.
Scream?
Huh? No, I don't scream. I don't scream. Never scream.
Yelled?
No, never yelled. No.
Silence.
Don't do any of that stuff. No
silence.
yelling, no screaming. No. Divert this story. Were you there when the wrestlers said? Because I always say this to people, like I don't freak out and stuff. They're like they were gonna get me, so they had the lights off, like the whole wrestling team. I'm talking about like 40 kids in there.
Yeah.
And I go in the room and I turn on the lights and they all start screaming. I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Just like that. They're like, oh, I guess coach is right. He's not full of crap.
Yeah. I don't remember if I was there, but I think I'm somewhat similar. Like, because what is screaming gonna?
It doesn't do anything. Like it doesn't do anything.
I
It's a reaction I guess some people have, but I mean I can understand maybe like charging in to like battle. Like I could see like what's his name? Yeah, who was the guy? The fighter,
Alex Burrow.
Alex Ferrer. I remember somebody came and he was just like like
Oh
that.
yeah, he
Like
was ready.
he was just like yeah, ready to hit him. So I can
Like
see
he
him
didn't
doing
yell or
that.
anything. He just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I can see him making a noise like a karate noise or something.
before the fights when he shoots the arrow, he yells. He goes,
Yeah,
"Whoa!"
yeah. It's kind of like those what are they, he's one of those like
He's
Fiji
indigenous.
indigenous warriors. Yeah,
You
they
know,
do
me and
that
him
dance.
might have a common ancestor. Think about
Really?
it. I mean, we might because the thing is, my grandfather is my mother's 50% indigenous from
Uh huh.
Colombia or like from Ecuador.
Yeah.
That's where we descend from. But these are all like they have similar ancestors because these people came from the theory is Asia, you know, so they started moving down the Americas. Some people stayed in North America
Yeah.
and some moved into South America. Now there was like different tribes and stuff like that. You know how it is,
Yeah. Yeah.
different
Yeah.
civilizations. So unlikely, but there is a chance. There
Yeah.
is a chance. There might be a
There's a
common
chance.
ancestor
You know,
there.
I mean, I guess we go back far enough. There's got to be something, some kind of link.
That's where my left hook comes from.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about the spider.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
anyway,
go ahead. Sorry.
so the spider, I go rolling out of the bed, and I had with me at the time this. I still have it. I think a sword that I bought at
What?
a it was at one of those events, the gun show or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and I just saw this sword, and it was like for like $10. It was an
Oh,
Excalibur.
that's reasonable.
Yeah, it was Excalibur sword. I was like an
Was it
Excalibur.
actually sharp?
No, you could sharpen if you want to, but I didn't want to because it was heavy. It actually was like heavy, probably weighed like I say like 6 pounds or something. For a
Yeah.
sword, it's kind of like when
Top
you
heavy.
hold. Yeah, no, bottom heavy because you have to have the
Oh,
hand. The handle part alone was probably like 4 pounds, and you have the blade. So
okay.
you imagine, it's kind of like you don't want that falling on you, a 6, 7 pound thing. Like,
And it's sharp.
yeah, yeah. So I kept it unsharpened, but I it was the only thing I could grab that was long where I could attack this spider with. So I go rolling off the bed. I grabbed the sword. I unsheathed it.
Mm.
I'm ready to go, and I swung it at the spider. It got out the way.
Oh,
It jumped
and that
into the
spider
bed.
sense.
Damn it! And I'm like, I can't go to sleep now. Where's the spider? So I'm looking around, and I kind of pull the covers off the bed. It goes running across the bed, leaps onto something else, and I'm just like trying to get at it, and it's just dodging. It hits the ground, and I'm like, that's my chance. And I swing the sword, chopped off 3 legs. And this thing was so big because normally a spider, you rip off a leg, it runs away. But this thing was so big, chop because imagine you chop off a human being's leg, and if they don't cut it off, if they don't, use a tourniquet, they're dead because it's
Yeah.
such a big part of your body. This spider was so big that 3 legs was a big enough part of the body that this kind of collapsed over. And then I finished the job by, jamming that
Mm.
sword into it. I saved it in a, as a trophy in a vase. I kept it in there, and I would tell the story, and they'd be like, "Okay, okay." Like, you don't believe how big the spider is, do you? Put out the vase. I'm like, holy, yeah.
What happened to that vase?
I mean, that was years ago. That spider is long gone now. I don't still save it.
Yeah, I would have kept that for life. I would have given that to
That's
someone.
probably like 15, 20 years ago. 20, no, not
That would have
20,
been
not
like
20 years
that
ago,
would have
but
been
like 15
like
years ago.
I would have passed that down generation to generation.
That
Dude. Like
spider would have probably decomposed, but I could have mummified it.
we could have put it in formaldehyde.
Yeah, I actually, when I dissected a frog in middle school, I
Poor
kept the
frog.
frog in formaldehyde, huh?
Poor frog.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I love frogs, man. Frogs are one of my favorite life forms.
I do kind of like frogs a little bit.
I like the metamorphosis part. You
Yeah,
know, like they
yeah.
start off as a tadpole, and I actually like salamanders more because they have the external gills.
Uh huh.
I feel like the external gills are a little bit cooler. Tadpoles are a little lame. They have them for like a day, and then they bring them in. Like they become internal.
Yeah.
But salamander just has the external ones, and they stay kind of like longer.
Yeah. Those are some funky creatures. That's like the missing link between like the sea fit creatures and the land creatures.
And the
Our
reptiles,
transition. Yeah.
because I've watched the Land Before Time or whatever it was. The one with
With
dinosaurs.
Will Ferrell?
No,
No.
no, that could I could have the wrong name, but when I was a kid, I used to always watch like those like documentaries about
Okay,
like
okay, yeah,
the
yeah.
beginning times. I'm sure I just came up with a random name. It
Yeah, yeah,
sounded
yeah, yeah.
similar, but they were like amphibians because they were starting to move up onto land,
Uh huh.
but they still needed to like return to the water to lay their eggs and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But eventually they started having eggs that had like a harder outer shell. These are all theories. Like there isn't
Yeah.
any proof for this. I don't think so.
Well, there's not proof, but what happens is here's the thing. Now, I'm no Neil deGrasse Tyson, but
It's a
I am
good
a
thing.
man of science. And here's the thing about science: you have to make a prediction. You make
Hmm.
predictions, right?
But they're educated.
You make predictions, and you find ways of testing it. And if your
Mm.
tests pan out, then your theories are more credible.
Yeah,
So I like the example with we'll go with a smarter scientist. We'll skip Neil deGrasse Tyson because he's not really a scientist.
Will Ferrell.
Not Will Ferrell.
Ah,
Will Ferrell, I mean,
he's up there.
he's up there. I put him two notches above Neil, but we're talking about Einstein, of course,
Mm.
right? So Einstein made a prediction, right, that
Yes.
if you have a strong enough gravitational force, it could bend light. That was just a prediction he made.
Yeah.
Okay, there was no way to
Like a
test
black
it,
hole.
so he had to come up with a way of testing it. So his way of testing it, he came up with a whole test, and he said that during an eclipse, there's some stars that's going to be behind the sun, but we'll still be able to see them because the sun is strong enough gravitational force it'll bend the light around it. We can see those stars.
Mm.
And when they had the eclipse, they tested it and we see the stars. Now, it doesn't mean his theory is 100% true. We can never say 100%.
But it's more
Could
credible.
It's more credible because he came up with the theory and the test before we actually did the experiment. And then when we did the experiment, his hypothesis was proven.
Mm.
So that's how those things come out. It's the same way with biology, not biology. You were talking about like anthropology, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what it is
Anthropology, like the study of
up with
humans. Do I look
anthropology
that
is.
up?
Yeah, yeah. Look it
Jamie,
up.
pull that up.
Yeah, we don't have an engineer today to like review.
Yeah, you banned us today.
So what's
It's the
anthropology?
study of people, past and present.
Past and
Oh,
present. Okay, so even with anthropology, because I took an anthropology class a long time ago, but you're talking about like ancient people. You can make some predictions and you can kind of test it. They'll make some predictions that let's say they said these people didn't die off; they migrated to this area,
yeah.
and if we dig there, we could probably find evidence of them. So that would be a prediction, right?
Mm.
And then they go and they dig and nothing. So then someone will say, okay, doesn't mean that they died off, but your
Your
theory is
theory
wrong
is not
because you
credible.
said we would find them here and we didn't find anything. And then maybe somebody finds them in a different area. Like, oh, wait a minute, this civilization just came out of nowhere. They couldn't just appear out of nowhere. Maybe it's yeah. And then we start linking them. We look at the artwork. We look at the pottery we see. Is it similar? Are they using similar techniques, things like that? But I mean, that's a boring part of science, but that's how science works. The reason I'm ranting on this is because I feel that science has taken a blow with this whole COVID nonsense, with
Yeah.
the just in general.
I never got COVID. Like, I ended up getting vaccinated towards the end of it because my mom kind of made me.
Yeah,
But like, when I was living with my dad in the prime
you
of
gotta check your
COVID,
heart.
yeah, no, my heart's fine.
Yeah,
Um, I've checked it a couple times. I do this like maybe once every like 4 months. I'm
I
like, all
mean that's
right,
good enough. Good enough.
this seems okay.
You don't get go insane with it.
Yeah, because like I don't feel anything. Like I don't feel like a heartbeat or anything. So it's just like, all right, I should be fine. You know,
Yeah,
it's been like that since I
since
got the
after the
vaccine.
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But like in the prime of that, like everyone's talking about, oh, COVID is gonna kill you, blah blah. Don't take public transportation. I was taking public transportation like every single day
Yeah.
in the prime, like no
Talking
vaccinations,
about
no
the
nothing.
buses.
The buses, yeah,
Holy hell! How'd you survive?
nothing. I never even got COVID, dude.
No, I'm saying, how'd you survive in the bus? Period. There's some characters there.
They know not to mess with me.
Yeah,
They know like, all right, you do crack, but like, bro, my life has brought me to the same point that you're at. But I'm just I'm just young. I'm a teenager.
yeah.
Like, bro, I'll go. They know I'll go for
I
it.
got more muscle endurance than
I
you.
got more muscle endurance.
Yeah,
I wrestled by then,
yeah,
So I was like, I just had the confidence. They could tell.
yeah.
They knew like, all right, dude. All right, I'm
Well, the thing is, I never got vaccinated. I got COVID
exa-
once that I know of for sure. I don't know if I got it again, but once I know it for sure.
yeah.
But it wasn't really anything to me. But
Yeah,
I
because
know other.
you're not obese, bro. Like I
Yeah,
feel like the people that die from that are like already immunocompromised in a sense because either
yeah,
their body can't like handle not like a serious infection, but something like a very viral, like it has like
yeah,
a
yeah,
high
yeah.
viral load and stuff.
Remember when Rogan was talking about this, and they were saying the original death numbers, that the average age of the person who died from COVID is higher than the average age a human being's about to is supposed to live. So like the average man lives to what, like 78?
70 something, yeah,
Yeah, and it's like the average age of like the COVID
82 or
death is like
something.
82, and it's like, what are we even talking about here? Like these people are living on borrowed time as it is. Not too bad talking, but I mean, it
Yeah,
is
I
what it
mean,
is.
you're already kind of there
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah. I was just thinking about that the other day. That did I tell you about it where I fell in the shower?
Oh yeah, you told
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
but you survived it.
I survived it, but it was one of those like slip, 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 both feet in the air, and just bam. And I was thinking to myself, man, if I was in my 80s,
If you were old, that would
that
have
would
been
be
it.
it. That
That
would
would
be
be
it.
it. Yeah.
I probably would have died there. It wouldn't even be in a hospital
No,
2 weeks later.
immediate
I
death.
would have
Like
been dead right
you
there.
would have hit the ground and just.
Yeah. Hopefully, it would have been an easy go. It
Oh
wouldn't have been
yeah.
like suffering, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, if you're suffering, that's probably like it's not like that deadly of a wound. I think for an old person, because like that's like the hole in a needle. You know what I mean? To like injure an old person enough that they suffer for an extended period of time before dying. I feel if
yeah,
it's that severe, they would just die instantly. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
like when you get really old, like you're so fragile. Like you could die from pretty much like a strong wind, a gust of wind. You know the impact of that on your head. Like you just
yeah.
you know.
It is rough. Yeah.
So
I
that's why
mean,
those falls kind of like immediately just like
yeah, yeah. It was bad because I popped up right. I'm fine, but I was just thinking to myself like, man,
damn.
I got to get one of those sticky mats when I get
Yeah,
old, because
yeah,
if I'm falling now, can you
yeah.
imagine?
Yeah. Geez, now you gotta like start patting like the fucking the
Yeah.
edges of the bathtub and stuff just in case.
I wonder if certain people just negate washing the bottom of their feet because of that. Because you
Yeah,
ever see people like they take off their shoes and the foot is like black at the bottom? It's like, where were you walking?
yeah.
I think people just don't because of the fear of falling in the shower. Because that's exactly what I was doing.
Because
I
you
was
have to go on
washing the
one
bottom of
leg.
my
You have to
feet.
go. You have to kind of
Yeah, yeah. But I was like just kind of soaping it up, and I like to kind
the
of like,
soaping it up is what might have messed you up.
yeah,
When
yeah,
I wash my feet, I'm gonna. All right, you guys are gonna judge me, but I'll use a soap like on the toes, but on like the actual sole part of my foot,
uh huh.
I'm more like water and like thoroughly kind of like washing it because if I put soap, I just know that like I'm gonna have kind of like less
Ah,
traction.
see, so you thought about this.
Yeah, I thought about this
See,
because like
I didn't think about it. That's why I took the spill.
exactly, you know,
Yeah.
this is like kind of like a Darwin kind of thing, you know, like survival of the fittest.
Survival
Like
of the fittest.
me, I noticed that the soap removes the traction, so I avoid
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I try to work around it,
yeah,
but you'll learn from it. That's the thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, you live and you learn, right?
The thing is like, all right, you didn't die because you were strong. You know, you're like you're still fit, and you're
Yeah.
gonna learn from that. But someone that isn't strong or can't learn from that, you know, that's kind of proof of like the Darwin, like what Darwin
My
proposes.
thing though, why are there so many people that can't learn?
It's dude, it's weird. It's so fucking weird.
We
I feel
talked about this last time, so we're not going to harp on it again. But the whole Darwin theory is, well, here's my theory: survival of the fittest only goes so far,
yeah,
where there's enough people in the group to keep the weak alive,
yeah.
and then eventually the weak start outbreeding the strong.
Hmm.
That's what happens. Idiocracy. Did you ever see Idiocracy?
No, but I've had
Oh,
people tell me to watch it.
yeah. So this movie, it took what was going on in the world and just kind of get it to its logical
Yeah,
conclusion. So poor people, people who aren't as intelligent, having more and more kids. Smarter people kind of wait, get their careers going, and by the time they get to the age where everything is in place, they're in their 40s. They have like one kid, maybe sometimes even no kids.
yeah.
So you have these dumb people. That's
They're
get
getting it in, bro.
we'll,
They're
we'll get rid of the word dumb. I don't want to be too derogatory, but these
mentally.
less people who think less than others. Okay.
Thought challenged.
The thought challenge. So
Yeah.
they have a lot of kids. So they end up outbreeding the other people, and eventually they take over society. And I think kind of like that's what happens to all societies.
Yeah, and they collapse inevitably, and then the people that survive those collapses are usually the more intelligent
And
ones,
then we start over
and then you
again.
start over again. Yeah, see. All right, so humans have existed for a very, very, very long time, right? We
Oh, we're
know
not going to
this.
get into the.
We're gonna get into this. We've existed for a very long time. So, in my opinion, like I have my own theories that I don't think we're ever as advanced as we are right now.
Yeah,
But I feel like there's been some like pretty significant collapses in those gaps that we don't have like really any knowledge of, like any sort of writing or anything like that.
yeah.
I feel like we could have like faced some similar collapses.
Well, I mean, the Romans, right?
Yeah,
When they collapsed, the civilization that took over their cities didn't know how they did the things they did.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
they just kind of like used it as it is, and like the aqueducts and everything, they were still functioning, even though that civilization was gone for hundreds of years already. They were still
Yeah,
using them, but when they broke, they didn't know how to fix them. I
yeah,
think that's what's going on in society right now, where nobody really knows how to fix or do anything almost.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
I
how do you
was,
make like microchips for computers, bro? Think about how many
but
people that know how to do
not
stuff like
only
that.
not even that. I mean, that's not that important.
Yeah.
Just basic things. You have people that hire people to build their IKEA furniture. That's supposed to be so simple that
Oh yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
yeah, any Tom, Dick, and Harry is supposed to be able to buy it, take it home.